A familiar face returns to San Diego, but is that a wrap for the Padres offseason? I'm AJ Cassavell, and these are your daily bases. According to sources, the Padres have signed Jurickson Profar to a 3-year contract, a deal which should go over well, both within the Padres clubhouse and for the fan base. Profar is one of the more beloved Padres, and he should play a useful role on the 2021 club and beyond. He can do everything defensively. Last year, he probably spent most of his time playing left field while Tommy Pham was hurt, but he can play left, he can play right, he can play center in a pinch, and he can play all 4 infield spots. And so ultimately, that was the appeal for the Padres to go out and get Jurickson Profar. Yes, they have returning starters at all 8 defensive positions, but it's a 162-game grind in 2021 and beyond. And they view depth as maybe the most important thing in a season where especially where you're coming off a 60-game slate. With the signing of Jurickson Profar, the Padres bench appears to be in pretty good shape for the 2021 season. They went into the offseason pretty set offensively in their lineup, but with some question marks as to who would come off the bench. And so the Padres went out there, filled those voids. They traded for Victor Caratini. They signed Ha-Sung Kim. They added Jurickson Profar, Brian O'Grady. I think the Padres' depth construction right now, they would be comfortable going into the season with this group of guys. And if you're looking at who's where on the bench, Profar's in, Ha-Sung Kim's in, Victor Caratini's in, and that could leave a fun little competition for 2 or 3 bench spots behind that group among Brian O'Grady, Jorge Oña, Luis Camposano, and so the Padres have some options for that bench moving forward. On the pitching side of things, the Toronto Blue Jays agreed to a 1-year contract with former Padres closer Kirby Yates. Here it's worth just giving a shout out to Kirby Yates for his tenure in San Diego, where he developed a split-finger fastball and went from a cast-off journeyman with a 5.38 ERA into one of the most dominant strikeout artists in all of baseball. He will leave the Padres as the all-time leader in strikeouts per 9 innings, and he kind of set the tone at the back end of that bullpen from 2017 to 2019, and so kind of remembering him as the latest in a history of great relievers in San Diego. So with Yates in Toronto, now where does that leave the rest of the Padres' search for pitching? Well, they're still searching, but it's not imperative that they add a closer-type arm or even necessarily a middle-innings-type arm before the season begins. The Padres like the looks of their bullpen. If you slide Emilio Pagan and Drew Pomeranz into those back-end roles, then you have guys with the signing of Joe Musgrove last week and now a fully complete 5-man rotation. You have guys like Adrian Morejon, Ryan Weathers who can slot into those middle-innings roles. Obviously, you already have returning guys like Pierce Johnson, Matt Strahm, Jose Castillo is back from injury, Austin Adams is back from injury. And so it's a pretty deep group of Padres relief pitchers already. They're still looking, and it'll come down to whether the price is right.